Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today we have another feature match for you guys, and this is the start of round number 3, and this is the first feature match. There will be another feature match for this round coming out in, I think probably a day from now. I'm actually not sure what my upload schedule is going to be like. I think I'm going to be uploading daily, but I'm not too sure. It might be every other day. In either case, today up at the top we have Maticus, which will be playing Zoodiac, as noted by his profile picture, and down at the bottom we have Spooky Boy, who is playing Odd Eyes. So I think this is a really interesting match. I think that Odd Eyes actually has some really cool potential, especially with Spiral Flame Strike being a crazy card. Like, you can search Odd Eyes or pop a card on the field. I think it's a really cool card. But it looks like he won the die roll and is going to be opting to go first. So he has a very interesting hand here. I think, I'm not actually too sure. It looks like he's going to start off with an Allure of Darkness, drawing into a Spiral Flame Strike and a Foolish Burial. He's going to be banishing the Perform Pal Odd Eyes Synchron, which is, I think, a really cool card for this list. Then he's going to be using Spiral Flame Strike to go ahead and search for Odd Eyes Archpendulum Dragon. And this is really cool because it's a pretty... a fairly new card, at least to the Odd Eyes strategy. So when an Odd Eyes card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can summon an Odd Eyes monster from your hand, deck, or grave. So it's really cool. Looks like he's going to be going with a Foolish Burial to send Darkworm, even though he already has one. He's going to be going ahead and scaling the Archpendulum and using Duelist Alliance to search for the Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. So now Darkworm is going to be special summoned from the grave because it is the only there's no monsters on the field, and that's going to be hit with a Ghostman or a Moonlit Chill to negate the effects, which is very interesting. Now a second Darkworm is going to be hitting the field and searching for a Gate 0. He's going to be scaling the Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, and it looks like he's going to be Pendulum Summoning for 2. And then he's going to be overlaying for a copy of Dweller over the 2 copies of Darkworm. And he's just going to use the Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon in the end phase to pop it and go ahead and special summon the Odd Eyes Persona Dragon. No. This is going to be searching for Odd Eyes Persona, and then the Archpendulum is going to be summoning Phantom Dragon from the deck. Got that a little mixed up. I think this could be really cool. I think he's not actually on IP Masquerena, which is a very interesting thing. I feel like he could have made a Masquerena here, and it would have been a really cool thing to do. But yeah, Maticus is going to be going ahead and normal summoning Ram and then overlaying a Hammer Kong on top of that, and then a Dryden on top of that to go ahead and clear this Dweller. Next, he's going to be using the Cosmic Cyclone to go ahead and get rid of the Archpendulum, which is both of his scales. And now he can go ahead and go into a Chakanine, use the Chakanine effect to bring back the Hammer Kong. And then he can go ahead and go for a Tiger Mortar to detach and reattach the Ram under the Hammer Kong. And then a Monster Reborn is going to be hitting the field, and he's going to be bringing back the Chakanine. Looks like he's just going to be linking everything off, so I'm actually not sure why the Tiger Mortar was really made. I feel like it was kind of a waste of material, but because he definitely could have like plopped it on top of the Trident here or something like that. But in either case, he's just going to be getting material. Maybe he does want the materials in the grave for if he draws into an Avarice, a Pot of Avarice. I think that'd be really cool. But the Trident's going to be clearing over the Gate 0, and then he's going to be declaring an attack with Megaclops over the Phantom Dragon, and it's going to be doing half damage, so it's just going to be 750. So in main phase 2, he's going to be setting Solemn Judgment and Zoodiac combos, so the combo is going to be crazy here, being able to reattach a card under Trident. I think that's going to be really nice. So he has a couple options here. He can actually clear this Megaclops. He can actually just go ahead and scale the Persona and pop it. I'm not sure if that's actually going to be his line of play, but the Zoodiac combo is going to be attaching a Whiptail under the Trident. And he's going to be activating the Spiral Flame Strike, and that's going to be hit with a Judgment. So very interesting. It looks like he's just going to scoop. I feel like that's probably the best option for him because he didn't really have a whole lot of plays. So moving into the next game, it looks like he's going to be opting to go second this time, which is a little interesting. So Whiptail is going to be summoned with a Hammer Kong under, and then a Dryden over that. He's playing it really hard around Nibiru, but I don't think that Nibiru... Oh, maybe it is definitely in Spooky Boy's list, but it's not... I'm not sure if it's sided in, because he's playing it in the side deck, 3 copies in the side. So, yeah, Terraforming is going to be activated here, and he's going to search for Sky Iris, which is the card that essentially enables the Arc Pendulum Dragon to use the effect, like, at least, like, the main card that allows it. So a Allure of Darkness is going to be activated, grabbing the Gate 0. Unfortunate because he does only play 2 copies, but he doesn't have access to Dark Worm, which is really interesting here. So Spiral Flame Strike is going to be adding the Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon, and now he can scale it, and then use the Sky Iris to go ahead and attempt to, I assume, pop this Pendulum Dragon, but that's going to be chained with a Trident popping the Sky Iris. So the effect will not resolve correctly. Then he can go ahead and use Chronograph to special summon itself as well as Gate 0 from the hand, and he can link off into a Wee Witch's Apprentice, and then Pendulum summon back the Chronograph as well as the Wee Witch. And I think it would be a really smart idea to actually just use this Chronograph to swing over the Trident, or maybe even the Persona Dragon, since the Persona doesn't really do a whole lot. So I think that he definitely could do something like that. Looks like he's just going to be opting to go into Decode Talker, so that's a little interesting there. I feel like he could have put the Persona over in this zone, and then link the Gate 0 and the Wee Witch into that, and then use the Persona to clear it, and it'll get banished, and then he can attack with the Decode Talker and the Chronograph directly, and that would be, what, 23 plus 2,000, so... Oh, actually 28 since it gains 500. So that'd be, what, 6,800 points of damage? I think that would be a really smart play. But yeah, the Decode Talker is going to get banished here. I think that the zone placement on the Decode Talker, or I mean even the Persona Dragon, was a little off, and I feel like Chronograph definitely should have been in attack mode. But yeah, in the end phase, the Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon is going to be activated here, and then it's going to be chained with an Infinite Impermanence, negating the Chronograph Sorcerer, and since it was already set in the column, it will negate the Arc Pendulum's effect here, which is a very, very interesting play here. So our Pendulum Dragon is going to be searching for Persona, but then the Arc Pendulum is negated, so that's a really cool thing there. He does have skills for the next turn, but hopefully his opponent can't get into a Trident, at least that's the idea. But I think he definitely can by getting access into a Tiger Mortar and a Chakanine. So it looks like he's going to go into Borbo, then Chakanine detaching the Borbo to special summon back the Trident, and then he can overlay a Tiger on top of that, detach to reattach the Whiptail under the Trident, and now he can pop his scales on the following turn. Next, Tiger Mortar can actually swing over this Gate 0, which is a little unfortunate. I think that, can Decode Talker stop? Yeah, so Decode Talker is actually really, really good against Trident because he can actually go ahead and pop cards. So I think that having the Decode Talker would have been really cool. If he did the play that I said that he should have done last turn, then I think at this moment he would have the Decode Talker right here and the Chronograph Sorcerer in attack mode. And then he would have the Persona in hand. And then on the next turn, if the Trident is used to pop one of the scales, attempting to pop probably the Arc Pendulum, he can just negate that with the Decode Talker, and then you can just Pendulum Summon. And I think that would be very, very strong against the Trident, at least, because the Decode Talker is targeting protection. Even though it does tribute, it would tribute the Chronograph Sorcerer. But he's going to be going ahead and Pendulum Summoning here, which is really interesting that the Trident isn't used here to actually pop the either scale. I think that's a very interesting play. Looks like Pendulum Dragon is going to be attempting to attack over the Tiger Mortar, and he's going to be taking the damage since it is double damage. It's 900 damage times 2 because of Pendulum Dragon's effect. And then I assume this Chronograph Sorcerer, it's not going to be attacking the Trident. That's very interesting. Then in the end phase, the Trident is going to be activated here to pop the Arc Pendulum Dragon. So he's attempting to use Odd Eyes Persona's effect, but the Pendulum effect is actually only for Odd Eyes Pendulum monsters you control, and not Pendulum Spells or Traps, which is definitely what Arc Pendulum is in the scale. So, drawing for his turn, he draws into Whiptail, which is really nice here. He can normal summon this Whiptail, overlay a Chakanine, and then use the Chakanine to bring back a Tiger Mortar, and then he can link everything off into Mega Clops. Or he's actually just going to be going into a Tiger Mortar, which is interesting. I seem to reattach to this Trident. Wow, interesting. And then he's going to be using the Trident to pop the Persona. I guess that makes sense because then he can link everything off. So you just got a free pop. So I think that was actually kind of a smarter play, honestly. So this Megaclops is going to be grabbing this Magic Cylinder, which is a spicy little tech there that he opted to put in his deck. 1 copy of Magic Cylinder, and it's going to be under the Trident now, and then the Magic Cylinder is going to be detached to pop the Pendulum Dragon. Then he can use Megaclops to swing over the Chronograph for 1,000 points of damage, and his turn is over. He draws into Oath Dragon for turn, and he opts to just scoop there. He definitely might have had a chance. I don't think so, actually, now I'm looking at it, because on Manicus' turn, he could have just overlaid a Tiger, detached, and specialed back, or overlaid a Thoroughblade under, and that is 5,600, so that would be game. So that is going to be doing it for today's video. I feel like there was a couple of mistakes on Spooky Boy's part, but overall, I think this deck is very cool, and it does have some good potential in a non-meta tournament setting. I think that Arc Pendulum Dragon needs to be abused a little more for the list to be like very, very functional, but I think that it still is a really, really cool list. So with all that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in a couple days, maybe 1 or 2, I'm not too sure yet, for the second match for round number 3. Also, if you do want to play in tournaments very similar to these, go ahead and join the Discord in the description below. There's a link at the top, and you can come play with us. But yeah, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.